Hello, welcome to L Squared. Today we'll be talking about media centers and libraries and their effectiveness in student learning and modern education. My name is Lee Greiner.
And my name is Luke King.
And to get us started, I believe we should begin with our opinions on what libraries and media centers can offer from our own experiences. So Luke, why don't you begin?
In my personal preference, libraries are used as a silent place to get away. But while you're getting away, you can look up information from the books to the laptops, computers, and even your friendly librarian that can help you when you just can't answer the tough questions.
I agree. Libraries are a quiet place for people to go and ponder either their essays or the meaning of life. And the wide range of topics available for study include science to English, math to social studies, and so on and so forth. And as Luke said, there are all these wonderful resources available, such as books and laptops and computers, that you can use, as well as your very own librarian that can help you find these tools. So that carries us very well into our next topic, which is technology and how it has revolutionized modern education in terms of the library and media center. Luke?
Well, to begin with, you can't start with the person. You have to start with the librarian. The librarian back in the day, she had a catalog by hand. She had to keep up with the dates on the books by hand. And fines, they were done also by hand. Nowadays, everything's done. It's done computerized. Nothing is done by hand anymore, making the librarian's job easy. You could even call librarians lazy because they just don't have to do as much as they used to. And then when you get to the people, we don't just have books anymore. We have books, laptops, computers, iPads, Mac Minis that are giant touchscreens that you can look up anything you want on. And they're all connected to the World Wide Web, the biggest source of data in the world.
I agree. Technology has really had a big impact on the way we find information, especially with, as Luke said, the World Wide Web and the Internet. We have, at our school at least, these large 40-inch touchscreens connected to computers that allow us to interact very viscerally with information on the screen in terms of, for example, in math. We were able to draw out the equations and work them out without ever having to touch a piece of paper. And I think that is a future for all learning. However, this also carries us in very well to our next topic, which is the paper media book. Is it going to die out anytime soon? And when it does, will it be replaced by something like an e-reader, or will it be more so replaced by something like the laptop or computer that we so desperately need every day in our modern lives? Luke, your opinions?
Well, I feel like the book's not leaving anytime soon. So many people don't have access to computers every day, and even when you do have access, we haven't grown as a world wide enough to where we have internet access anywhere we go. So, books will be around for somewhat longer. Will they always be around? I don't think so. But for now, they're sticking around.
I agree. Books do have some strong points. For example, a poll at our school showed that 72% of our students do enjoy paper media more so than having to read, say, a laptop or e-reader screen. But books also offer some detriments. They're very bulky, depending on how big they are. They take up lots of room, and they require constant upkeep in terms of cataloging, which I do agree has gotten easier with the onset of modern technology. But over time, books still deteriorate much more so than, say, a laptop does, just because it's being handled constantly, and paper is much more susceptible to things like water damage and mold and so on and so forth. So that brings us into our next topic, which I will let Luke introduce.
Thank you, Lee. Our topic of next discussion will be libraries. Are they safe? Are they good for learning? Are they non-discriminatory? Let's find out. Lee?
Well, I like to point out an interesting fact that people that go to libraries are typically more so introverted. They're not as socially open. And so from this, we can think of the library as being a safe place for some people to come and learn about what they love which it can be reading books about English, the human body, or science. And so, in that way, I do believe that libraries are non-discriminatory, and they are safe places that people can come when they feel stressed out, or when they just need a quiet place to think about their lives, or what are they going to do next.
I agree. In my opinion, libraries have always been a safe place. Of course, on the movies and everything, you hear about the bullying and da-da-da. But when it comes down to it, that doesn't happen. If there was bullying, it happened everywhere. Libraries aren't any special place for bullying. And honestly, what's better than curling up in a beanbag or a nice chair and reading a good old book in the middle of the day?
I agree somewhat. But then again, we have this new topic, of course, with the onset of modern technology, of cyberbullying. And so we can see that with access to all the computers and the World Wide Web in a library, that there can be instances that may expose kids to things such as cyberbullying and online crime and so on and so forth. Luke, any thoughts?
Your point is well taken, but with so much firewall protectivity nowadays, it's basically cut out in the school system. We've canceled out Facebook, Instagram, any social media. Shoot, in our school system, you can't get on Gmail because you can instant message each other. Even though I do see your point is very valid, in a school system, I don't see this too big of a deal. But before you go any further, Lee, this topic could take all day. Let's move on.
Okay, I agree on both points. So our final topic is cost effectiveness. Are libraries really that worth spending that much money on maintenance, either replacing books or maintaining computers, so on and so forth, paying the librarian salary to keep in modern education? Luke, I'll let you start us off with this one.
Well, I feel like, of course, the obvious answer would be fines. Now, fines only cover such a small margin. In our personal system, fines only cover the cost of buying new books. And you have a teacher that usually has a teaching degree that's getting paid as your average teacher that's not teaching. She's in charge of these thousands of books, but by herself, she's not bringing any profit to the school. And she's in charge of all these books, all these computer systems, and nothing's really being profited through the system. Lee?
I kind of have to disagree with you here in a more philosophical way. Libraries do give profit in the fact that they allow students to grow as they learn. They give them independence and allow them to develop critical thinking skills as well as other skills necessary for success in both the classroom and the modern world. And so, whereas you say that economically and monetarily speaking, cash flow of the library doesn't bring anything into the school, I can kind of see your valid point there, but I believe that the benefits that teaching the future generation has overweighs any type of monetary compensation in the fact that the future is very important for all of our kids, and we should be focusing on that rather than trying to make a profit off of other people's educations.
That's a very good point, Lee, and that's a very good way to look at things. Now, in our discussion, we've talked about multiple different variables and situations in your public library. Now, if you had to put it all in 2 or 3 sentences, how would you do it? How do you describe the public library system?
I can describe the public library system as being a safe place to go learn and relax, as well as a place that will help you develop the skills necessary for your future success. You?
I agree with you. I believe the library system is a place where you learn independence in a place that doesn't teach you independence. The school system isn't made to teach you independence, but that gives you the ability to. It also gives you ability to chill in the hip language we use today.
Okay, so folks, that's all the time we have for today. We'll see you next time. If you want